Oh, what's up? Episode 3. I know it's been a couple days, but I'm not really that consistent trying to be. We started from the bottom and now we here. I realized that my mic kind of captures everything, like my breathing and all that. It's kind of cringe to be honest with you. So it makes me sound like a mouth breather, you know. It's like I haven't, taken a breath of air, in years, Maybe I'm like an underwater man, Illuminati type shit. But pretty much what's happening is Amit just wasn't the guy, bro. He just wasn't my teacher, so we dropped him. Now we're gonna learn programming with Mosh now. So let's get it. Start from variables again. Might not touch anything. I should probably go open up all those programs that we were using, like what's it got? PyCharm. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, PyCharm. I remembered it. I'll put that up now and see where we go from there. We already have all this stuff, and we remember how to make a new one. Hold up. Yep. New Python file. Python with, I think, what was his name? It was Mosh. Now we got it. Let's learn with this guy now. And yeah.
Mic off.
App. And over here, you can see this little window. This is what we call the terminal window, and it shows the output of our program.
You know what?
Mic on.
Let's ease into it. Let's let's ease into it, guys. We're gonna do 30 minutes. Yeah.
Mic off.
So here's the hello world message printed in the terminal window. Now, as you learn more Python, you will learn how to build applications that have a graphical user interface. That's an advanced topic, so for now, let's not worry about it. All right, now let's talk about variables. We use variables to temporarily store data in a computer's memory. For example, we can store the price of a product or someone's.
Mic on.
I also remember that the timer kind of killed everybody's ears. So let's go to volume mixer and fix that real quick. Change maybe, yeah, not Google Chrome, maybe system sounds. Whatever. If it gets to it, I'll just stop real quick and deafen everybody. Okay.
Mic off.
Name, their email, their age, and so on. Let me show you. So, to declare a variable, we start by typing a name for that variable. Let's say age. Then we add an equal sign, and then we type a value. Let's say 20. So with this, we're storing the number 20 somewhere in our computer's memory, and we're attaching this age as a label for that memory location. So now we can read the value at this memory location and print it on the terminal. So instead of printing hello world, we want to print the value of the age variable. So I'm going to delete what we have inside parentheses and type age. Note that I'm not adding quotes because if I run this program, we'll see the text age on the terminal. We don't want that. We want the value of the age variable. So let's remove the quote.
Mic
That's something
on.
good to know, I guess. These parentheses in Python mean text, and without is a variable, so like I guess a number value, I guess in a way.
Mic off.
And print the value of the age variable. Now here on the toolbar, you can click on this play icon to run your program, or you can use the shortcut that I showed you in the last video. So the shortcut is over here. On a Mac, that's Control, Shift, and R. So there you go. Now you can see the value of the age variable. Now we can also change the value of a variable. For example, on line 2, we can set age to 30. Now when we run our program, we see 30. So as you can see, our program gets executed from top to bottom. So this is how we can declare and use a variable. Now let's look at a few more examples. So I'm going to declare another variable called price. and set it to 19.95. So in Python, we can use numbers with a decimal point or whole numbers. We can also declare a variable and assign it a string value. So let's say first underline name. So if you want to use multiple words in the name of a variable, we should separate them using an underscore. This makes our code more readable. See what would happen if I didn't use this underline. This is not easily readable. So we always separate multiple words by an underscore. Now we
Mic on.
I think that's like just basic programming in general. Um, Always separate two words with a underscore.
set
Mic
this
off.
to a string. So we can use single quotes or double quotes. Let's say mosh. We also have a special type of value called a Boolean value, which can be true or false. That is like yes or no in English. Let me show you. So I'm going to declare another variable called is online and set it to true. We could also set it to false. What we have here is called a Boolean value. Now note that Python is a case-sensitive language, so it's sensitive to lowercase
Mic
I don't
on.
even know what you just said, like a boolean. What?
online
Mic
and
off.
set it to true. We could also set it to false. What we have here is called a Boolean value.
Mic on.
Boolean, because we booling? Oh my god, bro. We out here.
Mic off. Mic
Bro,
on.
that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Mic off. Mic on.
And look at me go, bro. Already typing in fucking in programming language, bro, with the underscores.
Mic off.
Now note that Python is a case-sensitive language, so it's sensitive to lowercase and uppercase letters. In this case, if I use a lowercase f, you can see an error over here because this is not recognized in Python. So false with a capital F is a special keyword in Python that represents the Boolean false value. So this is how we can declare and use variables in Python. All right, now here's a little exercise for you. Imagine we want to write a program for a hospital. So we're going to check in a patient named John Smith. He's 20 years old and is a new patient. I want you to declare a few variables to store these values. Use the comment box below to share your code with others. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to receive input from the user. So in Python, we have another built-in function called input. We use this to read a value from the terminal window. Let me show you. So we add parentheses, then we type a string. Here we can type a message like, what is your name? We add a question mark followed by a space. You will see why we need this space in a second. So let's run this program. We get this message. Now we have to enter a value. So we click over here. Now you can see that the caret is separated from the question mark. This is because of the white space that we added over here. So now we have to type a value, let's say John. When we press enter, this function will return the value that we entered in the terminal window. So we can get that value and store it in a variable. So let's declare a variable called name and set it to the return value of the input function. Now we can print a greeting message for this user. So we use the print function. We say hello, we add a space. Now after the string, we want to add the value of the name variable. So we use a plus sign and then type name. What we are doing here is called string concatenation. So we're combining this string
Mic on.
Actually, this is probably a pretty important thing for when I make the game because it could be a text adventure game. So yeah, string concatenation. I should probably write that down. String concatenation. Uh, Bold it because this is something I should look up on my own. I'm gonna fucking put like important, you know, because it's important. And we can put example. And finish this part. It's about to be over, it seems like, so we'll just put everything here.
Mic off.
With another string. Now let's run our program and see what happens. So, what is your name? Mosh. Now,
Mic on.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. So do exactly to the letter because that's how we're taught. That's how we're taught here, and that's how we're taught in the military. And I think it's good just to do it by the letter. Equals and case sensitive. So let's keep this down.
Mic off. Mic
I
on.
just sneezed like 7 times. That was sick. Name and space question mark so you can have the input or the response. I guess if that's what he said. Make sure to put that too. Actually, after, yeah, it's like this. And then name would be the input. I mean, not the input, but I guess the response. I don't know what they're saying. I'm just talking in my ass, bro. But you understand what I'm trying to talk about, you know. Hello. And then I guess input, because whatever you respond to would be in here, because that's how you spaced it. Interesting. Plus name.
we get this message. Hello, Mosh. So, this is how we can use the input function in Python.
Mic off. Mic
Now
on.
let's write it down in PyCharm. Hmm.
Mic off. Mic on.
It seems like, yeah, it worked, I guess, you know. Easy day. This is actually probably really important for when I start the game, so this is big. This is big.
Mic off. Mic on.
Honestly, I really like this 30-minute pace. Like, I don't get stressed out like I was drawing. If it's like an hour, like last time, I was dying, bro. I was dying. Plus, coming from like a background where didn't do too well in school, so this is good discipline. At least starting from 30 minutes, because I didn't even do homework, man. Didn't even spend the 15 minutes to do the homework, bro. So this is really bare bones beginning, learning everything from start. So let's get it.
Mic off.
You have learned about the three types of data in Python. We have numbers, strings, and booleans. Now, there are times you want to convert the value of a variable from one type to another. Let me show you. So we're going to use our input function to read the user's birth year. So enter your birth year. Now, this input function is going to return a value, so we can store it in a variable called birth underline year. Okay? Now let's write code to calculate the age of this user. So we write an expression like this. Currently, we are in the year 2020. So 2020 minus birth year. This expression or piece of code is going to produce a value. So once again, we can store that value in a variable. Let's call that variable age. Now let's print age on the terminal. Let's run our program and see what happens. So my birth year is 1982. Enter. Oops, our program crashed. So whenever you see this red message, that indicates an error. So this error occurred in this file, that is our app.py, on line 2. Right below that, you can see the piece of code that generated this error. So that is this expression, 2020 minus birth year. Now below that, you can see the type of error. So here we have unsupported types for subtraction. We have int and stir. What are these? Well, this int is short for integer, and that represents a whole number in programming. Right below that, you can see the piece of code that generated this error. So that is this expression, 2020 minus birth year. Now, below that, you can see the type of error. So here we have unsupported types for subtraction. We have int and stir. What are these? Well, this int is short for integer, and that represents a whole number in programming. So 2020 is an example of an integer. Now, birth year is an example of a string, because whenever we call the input function, this function will return a value as a string. Even if we
Mic
Bro, this
on.
guy's such a better teacher. Holy crikey. Like, I mean, I pretty much gathered, like, string and integer, but the other guy, bro, no offense, Albert, but you're just reading off the slide, bro. Like, for an idiot like me, bro, I can't understand that.
Mic off.
enter a number. In other words, when I entered 1982, this input function returned a string with these characters, 1982. So this string is different from the number 1982. They're completely different types. So in this case, let me delete these lines. The reason we got this error is that we tried to subtract a string from an integer. So our code looked like this, 1982. Now, Python doesn't know how to subtract a string from an integer. So to solve this problem, we need to convert this string to an integer. Now in Python, we have a bunch of built-in functions for converting the types of our variables. So we have this int function. We can pass our birth year to it, and this will return the numeric representation of the birth year. So to solve this problem, we need to replace the string with the int function. So let's see what's going on here. On the first line, we call the input function. This returns a string. On the second line, we pass the string to our int function. The int function will return the numeric representation of the birth year. Then we subtract it from 2020. We get the age and store it in the age variable. Now let's run our program. So 1982, and there you go. I'm 38 years old. So this is how the int function works. Now we also have another built-in function called float. That is for converting a value to a floating point number. A floating point number in Python and other programming languages is a number with a decimal point. So 10 is an integer and 10.1 is a float. So we have int is an integer, is a number with a decimal point. So ten is an integer, and 10.1 is a float. So we have int, we have float, and we also have bool for converting a value to a boolean. And finally, we have stir for converting a value to a string. So these are the built-in functions for converting the type of our variables. Now here's a little exercise for you. I want you to write a basic calculator program. So here we have to enter two numbers. We can type a whole number or a number with a decimal point. And then our program will print the sum of these two numbers. So pause the video, spend 2 minutes on this exercise, and then see my solution.
Mic on.
Hold up. Hold up. First, let's do this. Let's do this one. And I guess we can try solving this, what he said. So I guess that's going to be today's video. So, we can do, save this one. Do a whole new one. Let's call this, no. Converting to int from integer from string. Birth underscore year equals input. Yep, and then we put in a string because that's the response thing that we write. And we gotta switch to integer because it can't read. Strings and integers can't read each other, you know. So, what is the prompt? Enter, because we need to do that because string. Enter your birth year. I think we spaced that, yeah. No. Do that and then space. Equal, let's do 2022 because we're in 2022. That'll be 2023. Actually, it's today's New Year's Day, as you can tell from my system time. Tech int birth year, yeah. I think that's it, right? And print age. Print age. Forgot why he did that.
Let's subtract 19. Right below that, you can see the piece of code that generated this error. So that is this expression, 2020 minus birth year. Now below that, you can see the type of error. So here we have unsupported
Mic
type
off.
for subtraction. We have int and stir. What are these? Well, this int is short for integer, and that represents a whole number in programming. So 2020 is an example of an integer. Now, birth year is an example of a string, because whenever we call the input function, this function will return a value as a string, even if we enter a number. In other words, when I entered 1982, this input function returned a string with these characters, 1982. So this string is different from the number 1982. They're completely different types. So in this case, let me delete these lines. The reason we got this error is that we tried to subtract a string from an integer. So our code looked like this, 1982. Now Python doesn't know how to subtract a string from an integer. So to solve this problem, we need to convert this string to an integer. Now in Python, we have a bunch of built-in functions for converting the types of our variables. So we have this int function. We can pass our birth year to it, and this will return the numeric representation of the birth year. So to solve this problem, we need to replace the string with the int function. So let's see what's going on here. On the first line, we call the input function. This returns a string. On the second line, we pass the string to our int function. The int function will return the numeric representation of the birth year. Then we subtract it from 2020. We get the age and store it in the age variable. Now let's run our program. So 1982, and there you go. I'm 38 years old.
Mic on.
I'm assuming the print was the it actually responds with that. I'm assuming that's what that is.
The numeric
Actually,
representation
let's actually test it out without print because I don't really understand 100%. Yeah, I'm assuming if you don't put the print age, it doesn't actually respond back. So, yeah. Yeah, let's run it again. See, now I can tell I'm 22. Yay! See, we're just learning stuff. Nice. So, that's a cool program. How much time we got? 5 minutes. Okay. Well,
of the birth
let's
year.
see the rest of. He wants us
Then
to make a calculator
let's
now.
subtract it from 2020. We get the age and store it in
So
the
I
age
might.
variable. Now let's run our program. So 1982, and there you go. I'm 30.
Actually, now think about it. We'll do that. Well, that'll be like the next video, trying to figure out how to make a calculator. I think for this video, I think it's not gonna be over, but I think we're gonna go look at another video. Just to pass the time. We're just chilling. It was a good progress. I learned, I think, the first step to making a text adventure game, which was the booleans. I think that's what it was. Boolean. No, string concatenation. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess this is kind of important too, but I think string concatenation is good because it gives like input response. So yeah, that's that.
Mic off. Mic on.
You guys want to just listen to music? Let's listen to music. Let's listen to music. Let's listen to music.
What's wrong? Scared.
Oh wait, hold on. I might get copyrighted. Hold up. What do you want to do? Let's do type eraser. Actually, that sounds like a good way to do it. Type eraser. Yeah, let's get it. Let's beat these nerds, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Mic off. Mic on.
Oh my god. No. Dude, I blame honestly the new computer that I got. It really comes down to that. Oh my god. Ah. Uh, Alright. 62 words per minute? That's a no. That's a no. This guy has not gone outside in his whole life, bro. That's what this is. This guy lives. I'm gonna 77%. That makes sense. Like, dude, like, if I was a little bit warmed up, like, just in general, whenever I just raw go into anything, I'm usually just, like, in the 80 percentile. 80, like, 5%. It's like, I think that's actually my natural peak. That's just my natural peak. 80, 85. And anything I do, that's my natural peak. Let's race another guy, bro. How much time we got left, boys? Two more? Yeah, let's do one more, and we can just ramble for the last like 1 minute. What are you doing, my swamp? Dude, that sounds like today. I didn't really have a great. Actually, it was an okay day. I talked about things with somebody, and I felt better. So I can hear what you're saying right now. That's cringe. I just lost to these guys, bro. No way. Look at that. 80%. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm naturally 70. Naturally 70 words per minute, and it's like 80 percentile. So, like, that's just my natural peak. 80 percentile, 85%. How much time we got? We got one more. Let's do one more, actually. Fuck it. Yeah. That's all I'm. Dude, this is hitting deep, bro. What? Does it know me? Oh my god, bro. This is just deep, bro. It's like personalized advertisements right now. Oh, that was clean near the end. Oh my god, bro. I got second. Dang, I just lost to this guy, bro. That's alright, though. That was sick. That was a good way to stop it. Yeah. Okay, well, 10 seconds. I'm gonna prevent you guys from dying, so we're just gonna stop it there. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for listening on, and this is my journey. It's gonna be inconsistent. Probably not gonna adjust anything. If this stream quality is bad, it's whatever. This is like a vlog. Keep me accountable. Right? Thanks for following along, though. Thanks to you all. So I'll see you all later. Thanks.